Geniemon are by far one of the most complex systems in Duet Night Abyss, almost as complex as your friend's reason for not getting on after 3 hours. But Geniemon are also one of the most important things to know about and to be using, and as of writing this video, a lot of people seem confused about how good they actually are and how much value they bring to the table. So in today's video, I'm gonna clear things up and let you know why you should be taking Geniemon more seriously. My name is Braxophone, but you can call me Brax, and this is my Geniemon guide for Duet Night Abyss. If you've been playing Duet Night Abyss a lot already, then you're probably already familiar with what Geniemon actually are. But most people I know haven't gotten super in-depth into that system because, to be honest, it's just a little less interesting and less effective system of progression in the game. But it is not useless, and in fact, it can make your farming runs significantly easier. Geniemon are essentially another piece of gear that also grant you an ability and bonus stats or traits. There are active Geniemon and inactive Geniemon, meaning equipable and non-equipable respectively. Each active Geniemon has a passive and an active ability, with some passives being incredibly strong and useful for different characters, and some being kinda mid. Usually, the active abilities all will have a use, but I wouldn't know because I always forget to press the button. Some Geniemon are for battle and some utility. You'll need to read their abilities to figure out which is which, but it's worth noting that their passive and active aren't the only thing they do. Geniemon also have trait slots when they're ascended, and those trait slots allow you to put stat bonuses or bonus effects onto that Geniemon. There are tons of traits, like Deft, which lets you literally skip puzzles, and Wise, which is fucking useless.
Know your fucking place.
Some traits are super broken, like At Peace, which gives you auto reel on fishing, Frugal, which gives you increased drop rate, Fierce, which gives a giant attack buff, and Gluttonous, which grants you a higher pickup range. There are 3 tiers of traits, with Gold being the highest and some traits only being available for the Gold tier, and the stat bonuses they give increase with every tier of trait. You can also combine lower tier traits to make them a higher tier on this same Geniemon. I won't go into detail on every single trait, but if you want to read every single one, you can go to your Geniemon tab, click Inactive Geniemon, and over on the right side, there's a button that says Geniemon's Trait Archive, which will show you every trait in the game. Also, you always have a chance for Geniemon to be shiny, which will allow them to take an extra trait compared to non-shiny ones. New fun drinking game. Take a shot for every time I say Geniemon in this video, and at the end, check and see if anyone is still alive. By giving your Geniemon traits, you can min-max a specific playstyle. For example, you could give a Geniemon all of the movement increasing traits for faster traversal, you could make a farming specific Geniemon, or you could make a stat stick Geniemon. There's so much room for min-maxing here, and in my opinion, it's just really fun. Another cool thing about Geniemon is that by ascending them, you'll gain some trial XP. It's not the most crazy boost or anything, but it's not useless to progress them either. Speaking of leveling up, let's go over how to catch Geniemon and how to increase their level. There are some crazy good EXP methods I'll go over in a moment, but first, I want to go over the different ways that you can expand your roster. Geniemon are found all over the world, and each of them has a variable rarity that gives you a % chance to catch them. These Geniemon get hard to catch, with their catch rates increasing based on rarity. These rates feel like they're constantly going up, and if you don't believe me, look up Geniemon inflation. There are also multiple types of Geniemon food that you have to use to catch them, and the higher rarity the food, the higher success chance you'll have. Geniemon are kind of like women in that if you see one in the wild and you cook them dinner, the better quality the food, the higher success chance you have at catching a girlfriend or an STD. I feel like the second half of that sentence is gonna get me in trouble. It takes time and effort to craft the higher tier food though, so 5-star girlfriends will stay rare until a later patch update or until you put in the work. There's a method for farming Geniemon, which involves doing specific mission types, where after you complete them, a Geniemon challenge can spawn. There seems to be a weekly limit of 20 Geniemon events, so you can't farm them infinitely, but you can get a fair bit of them extra if you do it weekly. You can see what commissions have that occurrence towards the bottom of the screen, but my favorite to do is capture since they're super quick. Other than that, it's mostly just overworld spawns. The overworld Geniemon spawns seem to be static locations, but the Geniemon that can spawn there can change. As of right now, there's a lot of anecdotal information that we have, but we don't have actual code evidence for it. According to a Reddit post by user King of Sevens, Geniemon Genimon will respawn in the overworld every Tuesday and Friday. When I tested it earlier on, it seemed like they respawned every 4 days, but seeing as they respawned on last Friday as I'm making this video, it seems highly likely that this is the case. I will say though that it doesn't look like every single Genimon in every location spawns every Tuesday and every Friday, so they may be segmented based on the day. Keep in mind also that this is all based on testing, but until we have actual evidence via the code of the game or confirmation from the devs, there is always a chance this information isn't 100% correct or will change in the future. Either way, it looks like Tuesday and Friday they will respawn, but if you fail to catch a Genimon, it will respawn in the same location the next day. Additionally, the mission method, as mentioned before, is limited to 20 catches a week, so you basically just have the overworld that respawns every 4 days and those missions weekly. Once you catch a Genimon, you might want to level it and eventually ascend it to give it more traits, because yeah, it would be kind of weird to have level 70 characters and a level 1 box. Genimon can be consumed for EXP, but I actually don't recommend that. There are Geniemon EXP items that you can get through various methods, but the best one is through fishing. By going to a fishing spot, you can catch some fish, sell them for coins, and exchange them for useful shop items, one of which is Geniemon Experience. I highly recommend going the fishing route since the experience is plentiful and honestly, fishing is just super chill. You can also get some in the Immersive Theater shop, but definitely prioritize the more important limited stuff first. The theater shop also has 1 Yum Yum milk that you can buy per rotation, which allows you to ascend any Genimon past their max level. Now, listen to me carefully when I say this. Do not waste this item. It is genuinely broken and probably the hardest thing to get in the entire game. You can only get 1 of it right now, and don't ask me why I'm mentioning this so emphatically. It's definitely not from experience. Genimon can be ascended by combining multiple of the same kind of Genimon together. You do not need Yum Yum milk to ascend every Genimon. The Yum Yum milk item is for ascending a Genimon that's either very rare, or in the case of the Battle Pass Genimon, a Genimon with no spawns. Mons like the Battle Pass Genimons are the best for Yum Yum milk, and if you're not spending it there, I'd hold on to it for safekeeping until you're sure. Anyways, by ascending a Genimon, you can get access to more traits and increase its ability stats, so it's worth it in the long term, especially for some of the stronger Genimon. Speaking of which, there are some very important Genimon and static spawns that I want to tell you guys about next, because they'll just make the game much easier. A lot of Genimon are very strong and provide tons of solid buffs, including the non-Battle Pass ones. For example, Broboxy is a crazy powerful Genimon that you can actually guarantee getting by opening this chest in the Racist Fortress. And he's easily one of the best Genimon for farming items, chests, and other Genimon. His passive gives a huge increase in automatic pickup range for items, but it also has a chance to grant bonus loot drops. His active ability, when used in the overworld, will ping a nearby chest and nearby Genimon, leading to more experience gain and an easier time capturing more mons. I can't recommend this guy enough, he is honestly just super broken. If you feel like you're moving too slow in game, maxing out a Pear Rabbit can passively increase your movement speed, and when ascending it with copies, he'll get even more movement speed increases. On top of that, you can also give him auto pickup traits as well as more movement traits to make traversal and farming even faster. For characters that drain HP like Psyche and Outsider, Mr. Goodnight is another great Genimon that can help you sustain yourself. In Immersive Theater, many players have been running Psyche with double healers for a support slot, but with I1 Psyche, you can definitely get away with the healing from Mr. Goodnight, which is a pretty big chunk of HP at higher ascension. At max, he gets 5.4% max HP per second for 10 seconds, meaning a total of 54% of your max HP over 10 seconds. That's not small. Remember, there are people who are mad about Owen in Chaos Zero Nightmare, and it lets you choose someone like Lady Neefle over another healer instead of grouping, but I'll have a guide on theater later if you guys are interested. And of course, everyone wants to know about the Battle Pass Genimon. The way their abilities work is that their passive will increase the stats of specific demon wedges, and they will grant a passive elemental attack stat buff. If you don't know what elemental attack is, it's actually a secretly very overpowered and unsaturated stat, and I'll go into more detail about that in a later video so you guys know all about it, but for now, suffice to say it is a very good stat to have. much better for your damage than getting more attack or skill damage. The actual passive amount isn't a ton, but with wedge buffs, it can be crazy good in the right hands. But that's without even talking about the active abilities, which vary by the Battle Pass mod. I won't go over all 6 of them since you can check them out in the menus, but I will say that Electrolf seems to be the best for a party-wide instant 30 sanity, as well as a big skill damage buff. Shout out to Animelf and Umbrelf though for their resolve and morale buffs. To be honest, that's basically everything for 1.0 Duet Night Abyss Geniemon. There are a bunch of Geniemon with generally decent stat bonuses, even in the lower tiers, so I recommend checking out the ones that you have. But I'm not going to go over every single one because there's like 30 of them at least, and honestly some of them are kind of useless. If you want to know about a specific character though, I will have character guides out soon that'll go over everything from Demon Wedges all the way to the best Geniemon. So subscribe for more if you're interested, and if you're not, well then I guess I'll go maj.